What's up, everybody? This is RxCX Dietrich here, hosting Sky Arena Live with Loganic and the developer of Sky Arena himself, Oliver. And
Hey, what's up?
what's up, everybody? We're going to be trying out this game, Sky Arena. Um, the studio is called Hammer Labs. Of course, like I said, I got Oliver on the screen or on the stream with us. Um, you know, take caution. This is not the full release. But how do you feel about bringing your game to Steam?
Well, it's exciting. I mean, we're a little anxious, but we've been working on this game for a long time now. So it's I'm looking forward to see what people think finally. I mean, we've been showing this at conferences all over the world, and at conferences it works pretty well. But I mean, I think four-player gamepad games always work really well on conferences. You can just grab a bunch of a group of friends and make them play deathmatch against each other, and who doesn't like that? So yeah, we're excited to see if people at home like it as well.
All right,
I mean,
so
yeah,
oh, go ahead.
as you said, I mean the online mode we put that in actually because not everybody has always has four controllers at home, stuff like that. So the online mode is basically on our newest features. It works quite well, but I mean we put in the disclaimer in there anyway.
I just want to say that you, sir, are a god for the online multiplayer because you have no idea how many games that look good, but the developers only think that the players are, have friends right around the corner when a lot of people really don't. They'd rather play an online experience with their friends rather than.
Yeah, that's what we figured as well. I mean, and not even do you need to have the friends, but who has like four Xbox controllers hooked up to their PC and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why we thought. I mean, let's put it in before we hit early access, and hopefully we can more people can enjoy the game that way.
When you host a stream, sorry, you host a live game. There is three symbols you have to put in. Is this something that's going to make it through the whole thing, or is this just a placeholder until something more
Uh,
concrete is put in?
we're going to feel it out. I mean, the idea here is that we also want people, hopefully, who stream the game like you guys, play with their communities and stuff. So it will be much easier to just give out a code like this, and so you don't have to either, I don't know, make up a weird name yourself or give out your friends' ID, friend names and stuff like that. So hopefully this way it's easiest for everyone, but we'll see what people think. I mean, we're going to early access to see what people think and adjust accordingly. We have a rough idea where we want to go with the game, uh, and if like gameplay wise. I mean, it's basically like how what we play in a second is what the game will look like eventually. But we're really keen on hearing what the community thinks and adjusting accordingly.
Is it always going to be you cannot pick the same character?
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, the characters are the same, so it doesn't have to be that way. So the ships at the moment don't have different properties. We'll see if we're going to do that in the future. So right now it's just visuals, so that's why we made them unique. And I mean, at the moment a four-player game with four characters, so it's a little limited, but we have more characters planned as you saw on the roster there. So I don't think it will be a problem in the future.
Obviously, this is very heavily influenced by Starfox 64. So tell us a little bit about your history with Starfox
Yeah, I mean
while I'm kicking your butt.
so I mean I've been playing all the Starfox versions here. I mean actually uh in Germany the game is called the first one on the Super Nintendo is called Star Wing and
Really?
the second one is called Lilith Wars.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there was probably some rights issues with the name, but yeah, Star Fox and Star Fox 64 were huge influences, especially Star Fox 64 with the multiplayer mode. I played the four-player split screen there a lot, and Yeah, I mean, for those guys who remember the multiplayer mode from Star Fox back then, it was basically a flat map with a huge amount of fog in there and like a pyramid in the center, and that's it. And so we we basically decided that we want to try if we can modernize this a little bit and see what we can do today with the concept. And yeah, and so we started the development in January 2013, so 2.5 years now. But this has always been our passion project. So we haven't. I don't think there was one week where we worked on this game full time. It was always evenings or like basically whatever hours we could spare. Worked on this game. So that's why it took us very, very long. But I mean, I think we got there eventually. I mean, it's being released on Monday on Steam Early Access, so hopefully, um, yeah, and hopefully people like it there.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, like I was saying before, I do appreciate the callbacks. And Star Fox 64 is one of those games that if you owned a 64 and you didn't have Star Fox 64, what's wrong with you? Because it's one of those
Yeah, that was
games.
one of the system sellers, I
Yeah,
guess.
Star Fox 64, GoldenEye 007.
Yes, Mario Kart was a big one as well. Yeah, those were the good old days.
Oh yeah, good old days.
The good old days. Like we sat in the basement with a cheap ass projector that
Oh,
and
Gotcha.
nice.
what a dick.
And played 4 player Nintendo 64 games. It was awesome.
Did you ever play uh, the wrestling games like WCW NWO Revenge or WWF No Mercy?
No,
Ah, you're not a
wrestling
wrestling
is
fan,
not that
Oliver?
big over here.
You guys had Alex Wright. Uh,
Well,
I
I
don't know.
mean, I know of wrestling. I watched wrestling like when I was a kid a little bit, but yeah, wasn't my game.
Do you plan on keeping the multiplayer at 4 at all times?
Oh no, we're actually planning more with that. Actually, what I want to do is that have a couch versus couch multiplayer in there, which means we could play 4 player split screen on one couch online against another couch, another yeah team of split screen players basically, and so I think we're going to raise that up to 8. I mean, the limit is more a level design limit right now rather than a technical limit because the planets are really, really small. And that is because, yeah, for 4 people, you really want people to see and to fight and not like constantly look for each other. That's why we made these maps so small. But I think if you go with more than 4 people on these maps, it's going to get a little crowded. So yeah, during the early access phase, we're going to develop more maps that are bigger and better suited for 8 player game, and then yeah we raise the limit to 8.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I mean yeah, we want to invite more people in here. We also want to see if there will be some game modes that work well. So right now we're focusing very much on deathmatch because it's the most basic game mode that we can do. It's like just flying and shooting, which is what our game is about.
So the different characters, are they just like cosmetic, or are they planned on having different like stats, different flight speeds, or anything in the future?
We'll see. We're going to definitely try that out. But yeah, I mean that's what we want to just see in early access. I mean, for now it's just cosmetic. Uh, it's just yeah, it's just easier to balance that way. Um, and also because we locked them all, made them all unique, so you can't have two characters at the same time. If you introduce stats in there, it will be. I mean, you may not get your favorite ship or something, so that adds a little bit to the decision that we made them all the same. We'll see. But once we have a bigger character roster, maybe. I mean, Mario Kart is dealing with that problem by having basically duplicate characters. Like Bowser and Donkey Kong are the big characters, and you have, I don't know, Mario and Luigi who have the same stats and stuff like that. So
Yep. The same
maybe we
thing with
can do
Smash
something like that.
Brothers.
Yeah, but they have still all in Smash Bros. You can have
Oh,
the
that's
same
right. You
characters,
can have the
right?
same character.
They
You're
just
right.
color you just have a different color then. yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Basically, what we wanted to do with this early access, we wanted to have a quite polished game, so people see, okay, this is what this game can will look like in the end, and then we just want to have more of that, because there are many games in early access who are there who are still very very buggy, and I mean players in early access, they're not game developers, so it's hard if you're not a game developer,
Killed
it's
you.
hard to see a crappy game and then imagine what it could be. So we basically wanted to show people this is what we want the game to be like. We just want to have way more of it. Yeah,
Right.
that's our idea. So that's why I mean that's why we think about implementing maybe other game modes as well. I mean, if we have multiple game modes in there, it's always harder to find other people who want to play multiplayer with you. So we're debating that, but I mean, a co-op mode would be nice somewhere where you play against some form of AI, for example, or I don't know. We'll see. For the beginning of the early access, we going to focus on the deathmatch mode for sure and make that better. Introduce more weapons, more obstacles in the map as well.
All right. So something we didn't touch on in the last round. So this game supports both keyboard, mouse controls, or keyboard control, keyboard and controller.
Exactly, keyword and controller.
And me being a Star Fox fan, I definitely prefer the keyboard, or not the keyboard. See what I'm doing? I definitely prefer the controller. And I think that's what everybody is doing right now. Am I correct,
Yes.
Logan?
I'm using my gamepad.
Awesome. I'm using a PS3 controller.
Yeah, I'm playing with Xbox 360 controller.
Whoa.
So, what did you, Oliver? Are you the sole creator of this game, like creator, tester, everything like that?
So the core development team is basically me and another guy who's doing all the art. And so I'm the coder, and Simon is doing all the art. And I mean,
Oh,
Simon is coding as well, which is awesome because he can do his own shaders and stuff. And and so yeah, so that's the I'd say the core team, and then we have two friends of ours who are doing the sound and music. So the music that you commented on earlier that is actually composed for us for the game, and all the right now we only have a limited amount. We have like 4 tracks, so for each map we have 1 track, but we later on we want to have like a couple of variations for each map. And so that's 2 people who are working on audio. And then just recently, a friend of ours just helped out for the 2D characters. So the new characters, we implemented those characters like a month or 2 ago, and a friend of ours did that. But yeah, so the core development team is basically Simon and myself.
and how long did you guys work on this?
We started 2.5 years ago. Um, and yeah, always did this on weekends and off and on, and yeah, even did breaks in between. I mean, we took a lot of detours with this game. I mean, at one point we had a full free to play buy your weapons shop system in there and stuff like that. So we tried out a bunch of different scenarios that what we can do with this game. Um, but for now, we settled on the deathmatch multiplayer because it's just the cleanest, the simplest one, and then just see if people like the basic game at all, and then go from there.
So, just to confirm, because you mentioned this, you are not going to go to the free to play route.
No,
Thank you.
be straight from that path.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I mean you have to try everything, just see how it feels, but it didn't quite feel right for this game.
I mean, despite everybody, crapping on free to play, I can see why it makes that does sell. I mean, the highest
Well,
grossing games on
depends.
mobile are free
It
to play
it really
games.
really depends. But the highest grossing games on mobile are also backed by huge companies who put in a lot of money to get people to play. So it's a little skewed there. I mean, there was a time when free to play was kind of new, where it was an interesting model, and so everybody was just putting free to play in their games. And but yeah, I think it really really depends on the game. There are games that benefit from that model, um, but I don't think Skyrina is one of those games.
I agree. I don't know how I would have been able to look at it. One thing I noticed that's different from Star Fox is you actually have a button for moving, or sorry, for accelerating, as opposed to just free flying. Can you say why that is?
Ah, yes. I mean that we had that in like from the very beginning, so I don't quite remember anymore what the actual decision there was, but we thought it just feels way better. I always think so. So when it comes to input, I'm really really picky what should feel great, and for this I thought it just feels cool if you play with the second stick for acceleration and deceleration. I mean, you can play with the buttons or with the right stick, and I just thought like playing with two sticks at the same time and flying a ship like this feels really really great to me. So that's why I like it a lot. It depends. I mean, some people like the buttons more, other people like the stick. We try to accommodate everybody, but
So I
it's
just
hard.
learned it. I just learned a new trick.
What'd
How
you
did
do?
I? If you hold down the trigger button, you charge up a shot that actually homes in on enemies.
No, that's fine. Yeah, you can charge up the shot, and I mean, right now only have at one point we had different primary weapons as well, different kinds of lasers and stuff. Um, and we'll see. We'll see where we go from here. I mean, as I said, this is the very core of the game right now, and we want to add a bunch of new stuff in there. So you said before, like Frozen Colony is your favorite map. We have some plans for that map, where we want to be able to go inside of the planet and have like a space in there where you can basically a labyrinth of tunnels where you can dogfight inside a little bit. That could be cool. Um, and then have some map events like there's a snowstorm coming in 15 seconds, so everybody has to see to get inside the base.
That
Uh,
sounds like an
That
awesome
sounds,
idea.
yeah, that sounds
yeah.
great.
And we want to have stuff like that for each map to be able to force players to think outside the box and have variations on each map, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the general idea.
Looking at all
Uh,
the maps, there seems like a lot of really cool ideas that you could do with them, such as the. I'm just gonna call them what they are rather than the names because I honestly can't remember them off the top of my head.
of course.
Like the fire planet, you could do like solar flare in a few seconds or whatever. Everyone has to go like in the atmosphere rather than
Yeah,
going.
yeah, yeah, like that, exactly. Or maybe we thought about maybe like lava coming out of the volcano stuff. So as the lava level rises, you have to go up. But then in the upper part, I want to place some mines basically. So when you fly up there, you have to watch out to not touch the mines, otherwise you're stuck or get destroyed immediately or something like that. So yeah, that's why we want to add like these map events to each map and have each map have unique events happen, so that each map feels different gameplay wise. Because right now they all look different, but basically it's the same deathmatch game that we're playing. Um, so yeah, so that's why we want to have like different map events for each map to make it feel different. And for Frozen Colony, I mean we have a base on one side of the planet at the moment where you can fly inside a little bit, and we want to make that bigger and so that you can also fly underground and have like a maze that you can fly through and stuff like that. That could be fun.
All right, so what I was saying before, there's a big stigma about early access games on Steam. Obviously, you have a working game right now. Everything's good to go. Um, you have, like I said, four characters with four characters to come, four maps, weapons work. The controls seem to be. I haven't had any issues except for my controller glitching out because it's a jerk. But you obviously want to add more to it. You want to make it grander. You want
Yeah,
more action events. You want more characters. You're hoping to up the multiplayer count um, by 100%. You want to make it from 4 to
yeah.
8. Um, so my question is, and I'm sure you'll have this because I think every developer has to have this on their why early access. You've already worked on this game for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
How much longer do you feel, or how long do you feel it'll be in early access once it does release on Monday?
At the moment, we've planned to be in early access until roughly summer of next year. So maybe half a year, maybe a little bit over. Well, a little more like 8 months, I guess. Um, so because in the summer, for smaller games like ours, it's always better to release in the summer, far away from the. I always call it the Mordor Death Zone, which is the Christmas season, because I mean you have Star Wars Battlefront coming out, for example, and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
there's no way you will get noticed at all.
Plus, Star Wars is coming out right with it, so.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, actually, we have something planned for December for that, so
Oh, do
stay
you?
tuned.
Ah,
Yeah.
you heard it here first, everybody.
We'll see. Um, so so yeah. So one reason is that we wanted to get player feedback, but we didn't want to have a full release right now because of that, because of the holiday season coming up. Also, like online multiplayer is always finicky. It's hard. Like developing an online multiplayer game is really really hard. So we wanted to have like a public beta phase of that to make sure that it works really really well. And and yeah, I mean, to be honest, I mean, some developers get accused of like doing like money grab for early access, and that's not the case for us at all. We don't need the money. We do have day jobs, and we're fine. So that's not the problem. So if we don't sell any copies at all, the game will still get made because we want it to be made, basically.
That is
Um,
awesome.
the really the goal is to build up a community and see where people want to go with this game. So we created the foundation now, so the gameplay feels tight. Hopefully, I think so. And we have the online in there and stuff like that. So we built the foundation, and now we want to see where people would actually like us to go with this. Because I mean, we already developed like 2.5 years, but uh, yeah, you never know what people like. I mean, basically, what we did for 2.5 years is develop a game that we liked, and then now we want to see is there any specific directions the people, the community wants to go in, and then we just see. I mean, it's not like we going to implement every suggestion that comes from the community. I mean, obviously, we are the game designers, and but it's always nice to get public feedback. Yeah. And also, I mean, we're going to a lot of conferences just because it's tons of fun to play with people, and they always ask us if they can get the game. And now, when it's in early access, we can tell them, yeah, you can, which
Awesome.
is a nice bonus.
What
Yeah.
are the chances of
Oh, I know
verbal
what you're going to
taunts?
ask.
Yep, yep.
Absolutely. They're already on our roadmap. On our website, we have a public roadmap for ideas where we want this game to go. So if you go to skyrenagame.com slash, I mean, just click on roadmap on skyrenagame.com. Um, we have like taunts in there, and also if we, I mean, as I said before, we don't need the money to develop this game, but if we happen to get some in early access, we would be able to afford stuff like pay voice actors, for example, to have some voiceover for those taunts as well. But yeah, I want to have like in character taunts, just like in Hearthstone, like the stuff that you can just send to people, and yeah, that's always fun.
It would be so awesome if you could like you said, if you get some sales and are able to hire some, if you could hire like the some of the people from Starfox 64, if they could come in and do guest voices, you know?
That would be amazing. I haven't thought about that.
Yeah.
I have to
Like
track them down, yeah.
I would love for you to get Star Wolf's voice actor.
And
That would be
I mean,
awesome.
he must be, that was like 20 years ago now, so he can be like a really rough warrior, like a veteran, depending on what's his voice is now. But I assume he will sound a little older, I guess.
That would
But yeah, that
be
would be
so awesome.
that would be funny. Yeah, it's true.
You
I will look into that.
I told Cody that I probably wasn't going to talk all that much because I knew how much this meant to him being able to, talk to a developer and
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I'm sure if you just look at indie developers or just smaller developers in general, they're always happy to do stuff like this. It's always awesome to talk about your game. Um, I'm sure you can get tons of people on here and talk to them about their games.
Because this game is simply, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I have to agree.
the game is
You
just
like it?
amazing.
It's obviously early,
Well,
but
To be
that's like
honest,
going to
if
early
you were
access.
to if you were to wipe off online mode experimental, I could easily warrant spending money on this game.
what do you mean wipe off?
If you were to just like get rid of the online mode
Just
experimental
remove
right
the
there on
banner.
the
I mean,
yeah
we put it in right now because I
yeah
mean, the
because
early
it's
access launches on
yeah
Monday. We will remove it on Monday. But the thing is, the online mode, we put it in. I mean, we decided a couple of weeks ago to say, okay, before we go early access, let's do online. So it's very, very early. So basically, we played like maybe the 10th online game ever in this game right now. So that's
Wow.
why I put it on there. It's still experimental, but I mean, it's still 3 days to launch, and I'm going to polish it up until then. So it's a little smoother. But yeah, I'm quite surprised. I mean, I'm playing on the US servers right now. I have a ping of 130, and I could play fine.
yeah
Uh,
I didn't see any little problem at all or anything.
No, I've got no problem.
Also,
Well,
so one advanced move that I can teach you guys is if you play with the two sticks, and if you press the sticks in two different directions, then you can glide. You can turn, but you still fly forward. Make a left turn, but lean to the right. And if you do that while like yeah, you can do very quick turns that way. So if someone is following you, you can turn around very quickly and then
oh, that's
yeah.
what's up. I
So
like
that's
that.
a pro move right there.
You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah.
All right, so before we kill Logan and get you off here, that was the worst way to say that. Once we kill Logan and you are on your way to working more
It's
on
fine.
this game,
I'm getting off on killing Logan. That's fine.
oh my gosh, it's so awesome. You are, sir, you are setting a precedent for our stream. That's what it is. If you are a developer and you want to
Just
curse on our
call the
streams,
show "Getting Off on Killing Logan."
that'll be our tagline. You said you plan to work on this game for another year or two, or no, until the summer of
Like
next year.
yeah, 3 quarters. Yeah, like
Now,
9, 10 months, something. We'll see.
Well, he just proved to us once again that we are terrible at this game.
you
I hope you guys will improve because you will play it a lot, right?
yes.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, we're gonna get you back on her, Oliver.
Yeah,
You
sure.
don't
Let's
have.
do that.
What do you mean
We're
no? You're gonna.
we're
Oh, you said
actually
yes.
we're actually thinking about using this game for a little challenge of ours in the future.
That's right.
What?
We're gonna do a challenge of we're gonna be one on one, and whoever loses has to play a game of the other person's choosing for the channel.
Oh,
He's gonna make me
okay.
play Outlast.
Outlast.
Because I know how much
I
Cody loves horror
I
games.
hate horror games.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that.
I should have just said I'm.
How can you like horror games? I mean, the only joy you can get from horror games is watching other people play horror games.
That's right.
I get a huge amount of
Which you
enjoyment out
can
of
do,
horror
by the
games.
way, ladies and gentlemen, if you subscribe to Loganic YouTube, because Logan has Albino Lullaby. He has The Dark Inside of Me. Is that what it's called? The Dark Inside Me. What's it called, Logan?
No, that's you got it right.
The Dark Inside of Me, and we will be having more scary games in the future. But I want to thank Oliver for joining us on our first ever live stream on Loganic YouTube. Uh, you can
Yeah,
buy his
thanks for having me.
Yes, you can buy his game on Monday. I don't whenever it unlocks for your time zone, and
I think it's 9 a.m. PST.
awesome. And what will that price be?
Link
U.S.
to the page will be in the
and
description below as
yes,
well.
of course.
Perfect. Yeah.
How much is that game gonna
Or you can
cost?
you can go to skyarenagame.com and there will be links there as well.
Which will also which will also be in the description below.
Perfect.
How much are we going to be charging for this?
This is 14.99. And I mean we're going to see in early access if people like that price or not. I mean, that's what we're starting with. I think there will be a launch discount. We haven't quite decided yet how much we're going to do, but a little bit at least in the first week or two of being on Steam, and then we just see how it goes. I mean, as I said before, we have a rough plan laid out, but we are flexible, and we want to get feedback on what people think. And yeah, let's make the best version of this game together.
Well, you got 4 thumbs up already.
That's right.
Awesome.
All
Thanks
right,
so
guys.
much.
So, like I said, for Oliver, you can go ahead and
Yes, I have
follow.
to get back to developing right now.
That's right.
There's still an options menu missing. So
We've taken precious time. When I talked to him on Skype, he said, "Yeah, I can do 30 minutes." And an hour
How long
later,
has it been?
like what 90 now?
I have taken away his precious time. But you can go
Don't
ahead.
worry. Thank you for having me. It was fun playing with you guys.
You can follow Oliver and all the news on Sky Arena on Twitter at Sky Arena Game. You can. Do you have a Facebook page?
Yeah, it's always at Sky Arena Game. So it's facebook.com Sky Arena Game. It's reddit.com/r/Sky Arena Game. Twitter as well. Those are the game accounts basically. Or follow me on Twitter, which is at Let's Code Games.
Awesome. All right, guys. So we will have this video up in
when it's up.
Best not to.
What's the word?
Sometimes I can
On
be lazy.
demand. That's what it is. We'll have this up on demand.
Never promise anything on the internet.
That's right. This has been RxCX Dietrich, or better known as Cody, and hopefully we will see you guys on the next live stream whenever we get a guy or girl or team to come stream with us. So until then, subscribe, like, and support indie games. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
You always put things that need to be. This.